我是今天的主持人医生。然后不知道大家在就是平常有没有这种状况，就是在逛网页或是滑手机的时候，常常会冒出一些广告啊，但是这些广告或是内容或是产品上都是我们有兴趣的东西，可是我们却不知道它是从哪里得来的。那今天这个工作坊将透过收集使用者的回馈，然后转化为有帮助的资讯，然后提供大家更好的使用者经验。那接下来让我们热烈欢迎 Storytime 就是它的创始人 Kathy。
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for coming. So today you will get to be both a UX researcher and also a UX tester. We will get the chance to test some fun games, and you will both get to be in the role of a tester and someone who's a UX researcher. So this is you today. So you'll be given an app, you'll get to download it on your phone, and your role is going to be to understand the user experience by observing your partner using the app. And you also get to be the tester. So you get to test an app that you don't have any experience with, and the test is not of you, but of the app and the design itself. So feel free to make mistakes, play as much as you like, for 20 minutes. Is it working? Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. So a typical qualitative UX test, usually they use 5 to 8 testers. Oh, thank you. It's usually 5 to 8 testers. Tests can last for 3 to 4 days. Usually they're between 30 minutes and an hour long, but today we're going to only have 20 minutes per app. Sometimes eye tracking and video recording is used. In this picture, the tester is being recorded and their actions on the screen are also being recorded. But today, we're not going to record anyone, so don't worry. You're not going to be on camera. We're just going to take notes and observe and ask questions going through the test plan. Okay, so we will get to download and play an app. And the first question we're going to ask you is, do you have an iPhone or an Android? So raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Awesome. Raise your hand if you have an Android. Raise your hand if you have any other phone that is not mentioned. No. Okay. All right. Excellent. Whew. We're ready then. Okay. So with that, let me see. I can just go to the next slide. I'm just going to the next slide. Where did it go? Oh no. I cannot do it.
It doesn't work?
Oh, okay, excellent. So let's get started then. We're going to break you out into 4 groups as you are now, but we will ask you to move around. So you'll get to move around twice during the course today. We will start out by creating a group that has an iPhone. We'll start out with 2 groups that are iPhone only, and the others can be both Android or iPhone. So, be ready to move around. You won't be using your laptop either, so be mobile. You'll get to move. And show of hands again. Who has an Android? Awesome. Can everyone who has an Android move to the front 2 tables? And if you have an iPhone, you can switch and move to the back 2 tables. Only if you need a seat. So Android users, come on up. You can stay where you are if you're an iPhone for right now. I know this is, we're gonna musical chairs. We're gonna move around a lot. Awesome. And so in the back 2 tables, are these all iPhone? Awesome. So Android users, raise your hand one more time. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So can I ask the assistants to help make a equal table? It's going to be a little bit like moving around. And how many attendees do we have? How many total people do we have? So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
48, but people come in.
Oh, 48 people.
More.
Oh, it could be like 50.
Could be maybe 50.
Okay, so we need to have,
More chairs.
yeah, we gotta bring out some more chairs. Excellent. Okay, let's do that.
Tables or just.
We need more chairs, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start by moving putting the teams down. Okay.
What color will be?
So
The first two is for Android.
yeah,
The first two.
Mhm.
Okay, so the pink.
pink and yellow are going to be in the front. I know. Excellent.
Okay, I'll go quickly.
Okay, awesome. Okay, perfect. And
So 一人一张.
okay, awesome. Yeah. So pink and yellow are going to be in the front. And
37.
37 people? Okay. And then the green and the orange are going to be in the back row. That one. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, either one. That's fine. Thank you. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. We need them all to have even numbers, if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Numbers, how can we do about because
Yeah.
12 chairs should be fine because one less people.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Now all we need is even numbers,
and there's
Yeah,
one.
it is.
if possible.
37. Okay, so maybe I can go down, or maybe the another assistant she can go down.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need more people.
That Android one because there's Android.
Okay. Awesome.
Each table and 9 people.
Okay. Can we ask like one to move to another table?
That one has 8 people. This one need one more.
Okay. They need one more, and then is there an extra person in one of those?
But those are iPhones.
Okay. Well, I think it works out. Okay, excellent. Does everyone have a test plan? Does everyone have a sheet of paper in front of them now, the test plan? Yeah, okay. We can probably print some extra. We have a few extra attendees. Okay, I think that should be okay. Okay, great. And so we have some links up on the screen. If you are the pink team, you have the pink post-it note. If you're the yellow team, you have the yellow post-it note, etc. And go ahead and follow the tiny URL to download the app that you'll be testing with today. So we'll start with that.
Can we just search it through Play Store, or is it not on Play Store?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
If it's easier to find. I think some of them will not pop up immediately, so the link is good to have. You have a question? One sec. Yeah, that one's it.
Can I just download from App Store to?
Yes. The link is to the App Store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if you can't find it, then the link is direct. Yeah. If you can find it in the App Store, that is perfect. To make sure we have the right one, the link is direct. So. Are you an iPhone?
Yes.
Oh, this is an older iPhone. Okay. Do you mind moving to another seat? Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, because we're gonna move around several times. You can move to, let's see, maybe this one?
Because she got a different question than other people.
I'm sorry?
She got different the question and topic than other people.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. You got this one. Oh, okay. Sorry, one sec.
Okay.
Oh, do we have an extra of that one? Okay. Okay, so if everyone's got the right test plan, okay, cool.
But this one is only even odd number, so I will also download mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will go to this
Oh,
group.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I also have a test device too. So
Okay.
everyone needs a test device. Do you have a question?
Is this app?
Mm-hmm.
This app is Group Planet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It has a slightly different name on the iPhone and the Android, but it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for your help. That was so fast compared to what I thought. Did they get the right? Oh, well, that's okay. Let me see. Okay, so she got the right one now? Okay. Does anyone else need any help? Please let us know. Thank you for your patience. The first thing that we'll do is get to know your app. So once you download it, go ahead and play with it a little bit. This is fun. We get to play games for a few minutes. So you want to get to know a little about the app that you're going to be testing. Okay, so each test plan has a set of tasks and made by a different developer. So we'll go over what to look for when you do your test. But first, we're going to take a look at the app, get to know it a little bit so that you're familiar with it. Okay, so we're going to watch a little video here. This is going to be the typical usability test. So this is what you'll get to do in the next few minutes. This shows how Domino's Pizza has tested their website. They would have a tester go through the website and explain out loud what it is that they're doing. So for example, the customer goes to the website to order a pizza. They talk about where they would press and what menus they would go to first and why. And as a tester, you will get to do this when you use an app that you haven't used before. So you'll kind of go through and play around with it the way you normally would, and the UX researcher will observe the session. So let me go ahead and play the video for a second.
All right. Two orders. My coupon has been fulfilled. And I want to add another pizza because if I have friends over, then we're probably going to need more than one pizza. So how can I do that? Add another to this coupon and continue shopping. What does this mean? What is the difference? Like if I continue shopping, am I still able to use this deal for the $8.99? Or do I have to click this in order to use it again? Because what if I wanted to look at the other stuff?
Okay, so pretty short, but this is an idea of, as a tester, if you test out loud, it is best if you tell the researcher what you're thinking. So, be very, it's very intuitive. So tell them like what you're thinking as you go along. So first you would try to press here. Maybe you're not sure if you press here, if that would be what would happen next, what kinds of things you would expect to happen. And so this is a usability test just for the website. The customer is wondering if I apply a coupon and then I continue shopping, does my coupon still apply? If I press this button, does it get rid of the coupon, for example? So they're voicing out loud how they're moving through the website. So when we test the games, we'll be doing something very similar to that. So other things to look for while we are observing the playthrough. Learnability, how easy is it for the tester to learn how to use it? This will be the first time they ever use the game, right? And the user interface, the app itself. So, is it easy for them to learn? Or do they still make the same mistakes each time? Try to make some observations about how often they made the same mistakes, perhaps. Efficiency, how quickly do they move through the tasks? There are tasks listed on the piece of paper that you received. So we're going to go through those tasks during the test. Is it easy to move through them? Is it intuitive? Is it easy to remember the buttons and menus? Do they forget? When users press the wrong buttons, how many times is this? Or how many clicks does it take to do something that is supposed to be easy? You decide. It's going to be observation and your opinion of how hard this is or how intuitive it is. Generally, be sure to ask the user if they're having fun, how they felt about a certain action that they're taking or a certain part of the game. Yeah. So for example, a task could be if it's a website, can you try to update your profile picture? Can you describe what you're doing? So the tester might say, okay, I'm going to go to this menu, I'm going to click it, I don't know what I'm doing after this part. When you say this out loud, that's okay. It's okay to admit if you're not sure, and actually it really helps the user researcher. Also make note if they look kind of frustrated or if they look happy at this point in time. So we're going to take notes today. Like I said, oftentimes you use eye tracking. You can measure how many clicks they actually take with certain software. But today we're just going to do a very real world test, which many UX researchers do, where they mostly observe. So we're going to take notes. Your notes can help you remember what you observed. And then you're going to take them back to your team at the end of the workshop. So right now, the teams that you're in, you are a team of UX researchers, and you're going to reconvene at the same table at the end after the test and see what you found as a group. Any questions so far? I know this is a lot of information for the beginning, but we will take it step by step.
现在有任何的问题吗？就是对以上刚刚的目前的所有要做的事情和刚刚上面的范例有任何不清楚的地方吗？
Yeah? If anything comes up, please let us know right away. We love questions. We will discuss with you the process as we go. Okay, so before we start your Find Your Partner, we'll just make sure that everyone has downloaded the app. Everyone has played it a little bit. Have you reviewed the tasks that are on the paper, and did they make sense? Please be sure to ask. Also, you can discuss with your group what you think the task will mean and your first impressions playing the app. You all have the same app, so what did you think about it so far? We'll take 5 minutes to discuss. Okay, everybody, thank you. Oh. Excellent. How's everyone feeling? How was it to be a UX researcher? It was interesting? How was it to test an app that you've never tested and have someone watch you, right? So what we did in this workshop is just in the green. So we start with the designer, right? The original person who comes up with the idea for the app. And then they give it to the UX researcher. And that's in green. So the test right here, this is what we did today. And it should happen pretty early, right? We want to find out what's the process like. Is it easy to understand the app? There are a lot of good ideas, but can the user find the buttons? Some people couldn't find the shop. Some people had a hard time putting the character in the scene. And some people said, why are we playing this game? It's too easy, or there's no points, right? So there's a lot of UX problems of different kinds. So now that you saw how you play it and how someone else plays it, we're going to talk about how we can fix it. So now, before we draw anything, we want to talk to our team. So everyone had the same app in this group. So we're going to talk about how would we redesign it. We'll think about our designer, put our designer cap on and think, how can we fix this? What kinds of problems did everybody see? Any trends? Anything that's the same? And then we're going to move towards redesigning it today. So we tested it and now think about redesigning it. So, can you expand upon that?
所以先看刚刚的整个流程的话，就是以这个流程图来说，刚刚都是在测试的阶段。那现在你们都回到原本主角了嘛？所以你们的话就是现在的话可以互相讨论说，你们刚刚对你们的测试员观察到什么样的问题？对，然后要针对这些问题，就是收集问题之后，你们要去思考说要去怎么去重新设计去改善这些问题。对，有人不懂吗？到目前为止。 都 OK 吼，好。
This one?
Yeah, they understand.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I can always. Oh. Okay, so what we're going to talk about with our team now is what are the issues that we found. Some of them will be different, some of them will be the same. A lot of the time, you're going to find the same issues. Everyone saw the same thing happen in their tests. So we'll find out what is causing the issue, right? What did you observe? Why do you think the issue is happening? Are they confused? What did you see them do? How do we know, right? And also into how you might redesign. We're gonna take it really slow, and we don't have to go into sketching yet, unless you really feel inspired to. Let's start out just talking about what we saw as a group. Can you expound here?
那就是针对上面这些问题的话，你们就可以去像是说是什么，你们中间玩的过程中是什么东西会造成这个问题？像刚刚有人可能看到很多说有个按钮可能很难按，或者是东西一直跳不过，那为什么会跳不过去呢？所以就类似这样子，所以他可能会是说哦，他可能那个工程师在设计这个东西的时候，他的位置可能没有调好，或者是说他今天他是什么样原因造成的？对，所以可以像是和别的组。 可以去看说这些问题，然后是什么东西去造成的，对。然后你们就可以要去思考说这些要去怎么去修正这样子。
Awesome. Okay, lastly, perfect. So can you find any trends, right? To get really specific, where do users have the most trouble? And we'll leave the slide here while you talk. If you can find a trend like, you know, how many testers did you have, right? So we had, in this group, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say that 6 testers had a problem with the same issue, right? 6 people out of 9, what percentage is that, right? Maybe it's a lot of people. Maybe only 2 people out of 9 had the same problem. So how many testers had the same issue, right? What kinds of questions do users ask? Like, where do they get confused? And when they want to know something, you know, what kinds of things are they looking for? So just based on your notes, share what you found and what feelings you think that they had. If some words come up, like, you know, they felt bored, maybe 20% of users said they felt bored, for example. So also their feelings and what you observed is important there too.
所以就是根据你们刚刚观察的结果啊，然后你们不是都有做笔记吗？所以在那段话你们就已经说，有做笔记说他哪边觉得有问题，那他中间玩的感受怎么样？就可能很无聊啊，或者是很烦啊，然后一直被打断啊之类的。对，然后所以的话你们现在就是先根据上面这几些问题，然后在各个组别讨论 ，OK 吗？有没有哪边不了解的？ 都可以吼，好。
So we'll leave the slide here so you can refer to it, and then we'll start. Yeah.
那就是，所以不好意思，所以现在的话就在各个组别可以开始针对上面的问题讨论。因为时间的关系哈，所以大家都讨论差不多了吗？应该可以了哈。那 那我们现在就要请各组的代表，就是大概可以讲他们分享到什么东西，就发现问题，然后改善的方法这样。大家准备好了吗？有人还没准备好吗？那还没准备好也不行啊。
Or we have to pick at least one team. Yeah.
那就从第一组开始哦，那就从他们开始。
我觉得自己讲，
You want the microphone? Yeah. Hi.
那你就可以讲说你们这组是玩什么样的游戏，然后大概底下是什么样的游戏，然后遇到什么样的问题，然后大概怎么改善这样。
Hello everyone. We are group 1. Our game is like a kind of beat game. Yeah, just like DJ or something like that. So we found a lot of we found a lot of points we want to improve. Some kind of like tutorial. The tutorial is some player will just eat a lot. They will not read the words or read the tips. And then is we don't know what's difference between the bonus and the combo, or we just type quickly and get more points. And the third one is many people doesn't know what's the UFO meaning. Yeah, they don't know, or they don't know. Like there is some icon show the UFO only, and we don't know, oh, it's good or not or bad. Yeah, some people say, oh, the UFO just take our people. Yeah, we go into trip. It's a bonus. Yeah, but yeah, it's a bad thing in this game.
Very nice. Nice.
And the fourth one is a lot of people doesn't know how to go into next stage. Yeah, they are just tap and get points. Yeah, because the mission is not obviously in this game. Yeah, it just show on the top of screen and in a very little word. Yeah, just like a pixel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after our discussion, we want to improve the mission tips first. Yeah. So how could we improve that? We think maybe this game should improve like stage by stage, not play continuously. Yeah. So in the first, it will show this is stage 1, and you have to build 3 teleports. Yeah. And after you build 3 teleports, it will skip and show it is complete. You don't have to tap the tip and finish this mission by yourself. Yeah. So that's that. Thanks.
Awesome job. Thank you so much. That was very insightful. I found a lot of the same things as well, and I was really interested in how you pointed out these creative ideas. Thank you so much. Any other volunteers to share just what you found? Maybe. Wow, we have a brave volunteer. Here we go.
Because our teammates took great effort in research, and we found that in many stages our users get frustrated. Like this is a game called Team 10. And users have to create a character as an emotion, like happy character or sad character, and put it on the table because it's an AR game. And users always get confused when they have to create a character because they don't know why they have to create an emotion character, and they are also frustrated when they are putting the character on the table when they are using the AR. And also they are very confused when they have to comment on the picture because they don't know why they have to comment and they don't know how. And users always get confused when they have to create or they should go to the main menu to open their personal information. So I think the results of this testing is users always get very frustrated, and we have to improve the navigations and some tips for users to know how and when to tap the button.
That was good. Amazing, amazing. That is very important. Sometimes it's good to know how and why would you play this game, right? And if it's not intuitive to know that, it's important. That's important. This group? Awesome. Here you go.
Our game name is Breaking Back, and basically it's just a sheep, and you just jump over many obstacles, and once you jump over, and you'll get 1 point. The first thing we found out is the velocity of the jump is too slow, so it's hard to manage the sheep's jump, and so maybe it should be speed up. And the second thing is the ad is too long, and the frequency of it. You've got to lose, and you've got to lose, and you will see, and you have to see one ad, and so the frequency is too high. And the third is the increase of health points is not obvious. Basically, most of the users didn't notice that there is a health points section. So maybe it will be, you have to be more intuitive, adding more intuitive part and more big or something. Yes.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Really good point, because I mean, with this sheep game, you know, it's almost like you've seen many games like this before, but knowing how to play and also being able to play and feel like you have control over the character, this is something that the developer has to work on, right? So awesome job. Okay, anyone from the last group? Any brave souls? Oh my gosh, awesome. Here you go.
So our game is room, and you put furniture, and the place. And I think there's a lot of
time. Okay, we don't have the workshop. We don't have the feedback. That's okay.
No, I think the feedback we can later send to the email.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
You can try.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Maybe you can decide ending.
Just end it in, yeah, okay. Okay. That's okay. No, that's okay.
If you want to put it in the AR, which means your room and any place that you can put it,
what is the process after this and for the ending? Yeah, for like sketching and how people usually want to
squares do not
okay, tell them what's next, yeah.
to put to know it. You can't know that why you have to put, like, when the square is shaken, you don't know if it wants you to move the size or the angle, or you have to put it on the wall. And then the users start to just tap the screen. And so I think there's a bit of instruction when instead of shaking the square. This is the first point. And the second point is because the place do not appear if you are not at the right angle. But when it appears, users actually don't know why it appears. They don't know it's because of the angle. And they just know, oh, the place, I can tap the place right now, so I can place my furniture right here. So how did the app let the user know that it's because the squares became completed? There's a bit of instruction too. And then to the third one is that we have to change the color or the size of the object. To change the color, it's easy and quite intuitive. Everyone knows that you have to tap the furniture right away. But to change the size of the object, some users face some difficulties because it becomes too big. Like if you place it on the floor and then you can only see a little part of the furniture, like the leg of the chair or something, and they don't know how to resize it. Yeah. So it's mainly the 3 points that I think it should be changed for the app. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, everyone has had a chance to share. This is amazing. So you all had 4 very different apps, and UX covers all of these different kinds of design gaps. So whether it's gameplay mechanics, the tutorial, the UI, or why to play this game and how this game is supposed to be fun, right? I have to note that Team Tend is supposed to be a social game. It also needs a tutorial. How would you, I mean, we might be running out of time, but something to think about. If you're the designer, the developer might ask you, how can we make this game more social? How can we design a tutorial for this game? They might say, oh, but all the information is supposed to be there, as in with this game. But maybe it happens so fast, like in this game, that there's too much information, or it's not being shown in a way that's helpful. Maybe it's user interface, like with the Room game. So these are the multitude of things that UX researchers and designers work with. So everyone has done amazing today. Thank you so much for your participation. I hope you had fun. I'm going to send you an email. I need your help. I want to make this workshop way, way better. And I know there was a lot of running around at first, so it would really help me a lot if you can respond to a survey. I'm going to send a survey through email, and if you would fill that out, I would be forever grateful. So thank you so much, and I think we're about time. You can also take a picture. That works too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Yeah? Any question?
Maybe use QR code is better.
Oh, yeah, better for a QR code. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Anything else? What time is it? Sure. Oh, it's 10.
有任何的问题吗？到目前为止。
Alright, so I would like to ask if there is a certain methodology or practice that your researchers would follow instead of just brute forcing it, just creating the system first and have users test it. Which is the way to go for UX researchers?
Well, so it depends. Developers oftentimes give a prototype that's already pretty much done. All right, so I think with this example, the game is already, there's so much implemented already, right? It's almost done. It's in the store, right? So it depends on how soon it is. Usually, they start with wireframes, of course, and what you would do from here, if this was your flow, if this was real life, you would then collate all of the results using Excel sheets. Aurelius is a great website. It allows you to make pie charts. It allows you to present to the developer on what happened. And then the next step would be designing wireframes, user flows, mock-ups, and actually making these changes. Did that answer your question, or what did you mean?
I would just like to know if there are certain practices that are best practices. Is there something like that?
Yeah, I think that eye tracking can be the best if you're working with a UI issue. If it's the UI you're focusing on, eye tracking is the best way to go. If you're working remotely with participants, you might have to work remotely. This can be because you're looking for the exact type of person that you want to test with, and they may be close to you or they may be remote. You can actually test through a Zoom call, share out, and record the screen. And so there's really a wide variety of test cases. You may need to test when you're at an airport, or if you're going to test on a bus, for example. The AR game was meant to be played on a sidewalk or in the metro station. So depending on where you are, your methodologies would change. You would definitely make sure that they have informed consent, meaning if you're going to record them, you have to make sure that they're okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
那因为还有疑问吗？好，那给你一分，大概几秒时间，因为我们时间上的问题，所以我们再开放最后一位。那其他的话，如果稍后还有其他问题的话，可以在 Happy Hour 或者是在这个 workshop 之后可以跟讲师问问题这样子。 好，那我们
Last question.
对，那这个之后的话，就是我们会要拍一张那个团体照。
I wonder what would be the way to test if the platform is something the user is not used to. So for example, like AR, VR, you probably need time to adjust to a new platform, new way to view, and new way to even make the control. And in that sense, how would you manage to test it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the question is, if the user does not really use AR or VR, for example, how would you prepare them? And most likely you would want to find somebody who's already aware of AR or VR, unless the developer is trying to teach people about how to use AR or VR. So most clients that I work with, they're working with somebody who already knows how to use VR to some extent. I do believe that the Team 10 example is actually for teenagers. So yeah, I think it would be a really good point that sort of teaching them how to use AR to start with would be recommended. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think I would talk to the developer and say, who do you want this app to be for? And it might just be that you have to create, tutorial content that would get them used to AR in general as a platform first. So that's a really good point. Basically, it comes to asking the developer, what is the target market? And if you have to teach AR first, then yeah, you may have to design something to teach AR first. Yeah. Good point. Other question?